Hello, my name is Ray Singleton. I am originally from Charleston, South Carolina, but I am a native here of Charlotte, North Carolina, and I am so excited to be the opening act for the Charlotte Post Best. I hope you enjoy this song. I hope you enjoy the night. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here. If you hear this message, wherever you stand, calling every woman, calling every man, with a generation that can't afford to wait. The future started yesterday, we're already late. We've been looking for a song to sing, search for a melody, search for someone to lead. We've been waiting for the world to change. If you feel the same, then go on and say if you're out there, then sing along with me if you're out there. I'm going to believe that you're out there. Stand up and say it loud if you're out there. Tomorrow's starting now. Oh, now. No more broken promises, no more call to war. Unless it's love and peace that we're really fighting for. We can destroy hunger and we can conquer hate. Put down your arms and raise your voice. Let's join in hands today. Oh, I was looking for a song to sing. I was searching for a leader, but the leader was me. We've been waiting for the world to change. We can be heroes. Just go on and say if you're out there, then sing along with me if you're out there. I'm dying to believe that you're out there. Stand up and say it loud if you're out there. Tomorrow's starting now. Oh, now. So if you hear this message, wherever you stand, I'm calling every woman, I'm calling every man, with a generation that can't afford to wait. The future started yesterday, and we're already late. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Mary Tao, and I currently serve as a member of the Charlotte Post Foundation Board. Our message is simple. We need you. As much as we have counted on you in the past, we now count on you more than ever. The work of the Charlotte Post Foundation is to strengthen our community so that we might provide life-changing educational opportunities for African American youth. Our targeted programming provides tutoring and academic support for students at Walter G. Byers Elementary School, provides scholarship awards and recognizes achievements of graduating seniors in Charlotte Mecklenburg schools, offers Black Lives Matter's public forums which create space to inform and dialogue about key issues that positively or negatively impact the African American community. It is no secret that the pandemic that's been crippling our world for over a year is having a most detrimental effect on the African American community and other people of color. For us to move our community forward, it will take our collective efforts in leadership, collaboration, and giving, all so that we can ensure that the vibrancy of our community can be sustained and move forward in a positive direction. We need you. Our young people need our involvement as never before. As children return to on-site learning at Walter G. Byers Elementary School, administrators and school staff will need to assess critical student needs and how they might best be addressed. The learning gaps that existed prior to the pandemic have likely magnified under remote and hybrid learning conditions. It may be that our current academic enrichment program will need to be expanded to further support those teachers who work diligently and tirelessly in the instructional process. As high school seniors prepare for college next fall, they will need financial resources to ensure that their academic preparation and goals are not impeded by lack of funds. Many families have experienced job loss or furloughs during the pandemic. Unexpected changes in a family's financial picture means that some high school seniors are considering work over college due to the cost. The Top Senior Scholarship Program will still need to be in place to assist families with expenses incurred in pursuit of higher education. For us to move forward in a positive manner, we must be informed as a community. If we genuinely believe that knowledge is power, then we need to ensure that we have opportunities to engage in thoughtful conversations that will enhance us all. Black Lives Matter forums have provided settings in which we can share our collective insights and make informed choices that might ultimately benefit our families, our community, and our economic vibrancy. Again, our message is simple. We need you. Thank you for how your giving will impact our children, our families, and our community, not just in 2021, but in the years ahead. Thank you, and enjoy your evening.
And now, our mistress of ceremony for the evening. She's the award-winning news anchor for WSOC TV's Eyewitness News. Please welcome Erica Bryant.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us for the Charlotte Post Best Virtual Edition. On behalf of WSOC TV Channel 9 and WAXN TV 64, I'm Erica Bryant, and I welcome you to the 24th annual event. It's a movement, really, to uplift our community, our leaders, our educators, and our young people. You heard Ray Singleton's message in our opening performance, If You're Out There. Well, we know that you're out there, ready to help make a difference tonight. We thank Ray for kicking things off so beautifully, echoing the message, the movement, and this call to action. Tonight, we're here to celebrate the successes as an organization and to continue to raise money to support the vital programs and services provided by the Charlotte Post Foundation. It's an evening of fun, but it's also our main fundraiser. With that in mind, I want to introduce you to a great new way to donate, a way to give in less than 30 seconds using your mobile phone. The instructions are in the souvenir book and on your screen. To donate, all you have to do is text to the number 41444, and then in the message section, put in the keyword PB24, then space, and the donation amount. We'll remind you throughout the program, but if you'd like to give now, that's great. Then you can sit back, enjoy the show, and be inspired to give again. Now I'd like to introduce and welcome Pastor Patrick Wooden of the Upper Room Church of God from Raleigh with a word and a song.
Hello, I'm Bishop Patrick L. Wooden Sr., along with my lovely wife, Pamela, the Upper Room Church of God in Christ Praise Team and Church House Band. I want to say thank you to Linda and Jura for allowing us to be a part of the Virtual Post Foundation Gala.
We salute you for the great work you are doing there in Charlotte,
Amen.
Honoring businesses and citizens who are making your community and your place of work better. We honor you for how you are helping and recognizing students that are going off to college, making a difference in your community in every way that you can. We salute you, and we are so honored to be a part of this Post Gala.
And we want to say to the recipients of this award, make every day count. Cousin Linda, thank you for inviting us. should bring about a change. It may bring sun or even rain. In a world of trouble, heartache and strife, decisions you make today will affect your life. Start out by saying, I'm going through. You can if you will, yeah, yeah. Really up to you. So make every day count. Make it count. Make it count. You ought to make it count. Plenty of love and joy to be found. Be thankful for all things, young people. Let nothing get you down. In a world of trouble, heartache and strife, decisions you make today, they'll affect your life. Please start out by saying, oh Lord, you can if you will. Yeah, it's really just make it count. Every day count. You gotta make it count. Oh yeah. Every day. You make it count. Every day. Listen. Don't wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow may bring sorrow. You wanna get ahead? Come on. Make it count. Make it count. Take advantage of the opportunities that you have and make it count. Hey now, if you want to get ahead, God, remember what I said. If you want to get along, don't wait too long. Just make it count. Just make it count. Make it count. Oh, make every day count. God bless you.
Now we'd like to continue our program with a message from the Charlotte Post Foundation Board Chair. Please welcome Mr. Ellison Clary.
Mary Tao outlined a complete and comprehensive case for why we need you. Thank you, Mary. Now I'm going to turn the tables. I want to convince you that you need us. At the Charlotte Post Foundation, we are unique in Charlotte, Mecklenburg. We pursue 3 initiatives that nobody and no organization around here duplicates. Mary told you what those 3 initiatives are. They are the recognition of the top African American high school scholars in Mecklenburg County, the Walter G. Byers after-school tutorials for 3rd and 4th graders Farthest Behind Grade Level, and Black Lives Matter Charlotte. Let's look at that trio in a little bit more detail. You need us because we are the prominent community group that annually recognizes black high school seniors for their academic performance. We honor top black senior scholars from multiple schools, and we extensively publicize the top 2. Think a moment. Who else does this? Further, we reward the top scholars from around the county with a banquet for them and their families, and we award the top 2 students with a scholarship to the institution of higher learning of their choice. You need us because of our remedial reading program for 3rd and 4th graders, farthest behind grade level. Our program pays selected teachers to remain after school 3 days a week to work with these most vulnerable children. The teachers provide concentrated instruction to students who otherwise would be left to languish until they drop out at 16. This effort proves that all children can learn, even those in conditions of dire despair. Virtually all the students that participate in our program show learning progress, and some achieve grade level performance. You need us because we operate Black Lives Matter Charlotte. We periodically produce seminars on topics of particular importance to African Americans. Who else around here consistently provides expert insight and quality discussion from a black perspective on matters like healthcare, education, criminal justice system, upward mobility, and other subjects? We hold our sessions in a variety of locations, and they attract diverse audiences. So yes, we desperately need your support, but I believe you need us, maybe more than you've ever thought. Please consider that this evening, and if you decide you agree, I hope you'll find a way to support us.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tony Tuppence with A Sign of the Times.
And I'm Tyrone Jefferson with A Sign of the Times. I'm the executive director, and she is the program director.
But today we're here to celebrate with the Charlotte Post Foundation and their work to help students in our community continue their education. This is a virtual event. We've kind of gotten used to that in the last year.
That's true.
But we're right here at the Arts Factory where we've conducted some of our shows this year virtually, and we're going to share some of them with them tonight, Tyrone.
I hope they dig it.
And yeah, we really do hope you enjoy it and continue to support the Charlotte Post Foundation and their work and keep education a possibility for our young people.
Thank you.
Right now we're going to do a song by Mr. Johnny Green entitled Body and Soul, but we're going to do the Dexter Gordon arrangement. I forget which album this is on, but we hope you dig it. Homecoming? One, Rebecca, two, one, two,
My heart is sad and lonely. For you I sigh, for you dear only. Why haven't you seen it? I'm all for you, body and soul. I spend my days in longing. Sometimes I'm wondering why it's me you're wronging. I tell you all
can't believe it, it's hard to conceive it, that you turn away this fine romance. Are you pretending it looks like the ending? Unless I could have one more chance to prove it. My life a wreck you're making. You know I'm yours, just the taking. I'd gladly surrender myself to you, body and soul. Give it up for Matt Postal. For you I sigh, for you dear only. Why haven't you seen it? I'm all for you, body and soul. And I spend my days longing and wondering why it's me you're loving. I tell you I mean it. I'm all for you, body and soul. I can't believe it. It's hard to conceive it that you turn away this fine romance, and pretending it looks like the ending, unless I could have one more chance to prove it. My life a wreck you're making. You know I'm yours for just the taking. I'd gladly surrender myself to you, myself to you, body and soul.
Ladies and gentlemen, this event is a fundraiser for the Charlotte Post Foundation. And I want to take a moment to thank those of you who've been supporting the foundation's work for more than 2 decades. I joined when I moved here 16 years ago. And we thank those of you who are just coming on board tonight for the first time to support as well. You know, every movement or mission has a visionary, a leader who sees what is possible and then jumps in to start doing the work. For the foundation, that leader is Mr. Gerald Johnson, president of the Charlotte Post Foundation. And he joins us now to share how the proceeds from this year's event will be used. Please welcome Mr. Johnson.
Thank you all for coming out this evening. My name is Gerald Johnson, and I'm the president of the Charlotte Post Foundation. I want to start off by thanking some people that are very instrumental in all that's taken place with the virtual environment that we're in today. Starting with my wife, who's been very supportive of everything that we've done with the organization and being my backbone to make sure that we are getting a lot of things done. Jack Brayboy of Brayboy Communications, who's very responsible for the video parts of this. Jim Ablard, who's from CSM, who's also the production person that helped with all of this, and the planning committee of the Charlotte Post Foundation. The board, I want to thank, and all of the sponsors that were part of this, I want to thank them as well. Also, I want to give a shout out to you for joining us tonight. But I also want to talk about what the foundation is about. And we have a tagline called the 3 C's of education. Continuing education with our top senior program, community education with our Black Lives Matter, Charlotte program, and corrective education, our after-school program that's transportable, but currently is at Walter G. Byers Elementary School. These programs basically serve as what we're raising money for. And now more than ever do we need help to get these programs and continue to get these programs moving. And we're going to ask for your help throughout tonight because the programs are very important, because never before has the community that we serve been impacted more. I mean, literally devastated by COVID-19. It's an underserved community that we work with, we help, and now more than ever, they need us. And we're asking you simply, will you help? I want to move on to the next portion of the program by bringing up the people that are the nuts and bolts of making these programs work. Starting off with Ms. Tiffany Capers, Black Lives Matter Charlotte, Mr. Anthony Calloway, after school program, Walter G. Byers, and Ms. Tracy Babb Mormon, our top senior program for CMS. Thank you for coming out this evening. We appreciate you. Give more and give now, and be blessed.
Hi, I'm Tiffany Capers, Executive Director of Crossroads Corporation and member of the Black Lives Matter Charlotte Planning Committee with the Charlotte Post Foundation. 6 years ago, the Charlotte Post Foundation launched Black Lives Matter Charlotte to create a space where Black people and allies could gather to discuss the issues negatively and disproportionately affecting Blacks in Charlotte. It was a necessary response to such an unnecessary situation, the killing of a Black man becoming Trayvon Martin. Alicia Garzer's love letter to Black people in 2013, Patrice Cullor's hashtag, Opal Tometi's posts, by 2017 became a rallying cry for millions of Americans who broke into protests speaking against systemic racism and calling for equity and equality for Black people. Black Lives Matter, a clarion call and declaration, was a truth moment that became a movement. A reminder in response to seconds and centuries of acts and actions intended to dehumanize and disenfranchise that won't expire. Not a pronouncement for haughtiness, but rather a cry for help. Not a declaration of exclusivity, but rather an invitation to inclusivity. Not that Black lives mattered only, they mattered too. And yet what should be a statement of fact is still a subject of debate. When I'm quiet and reflective and honest, and I think of Ahmaud, Breonna, George, Philando, Botham, Sandra, Andre, Casey, and the countless others, Black Lives Matter feels more like an aspiration than an assertion. And it was revived because we witnessed a Black man dying in 2020. That has to change, and we have to change it. As James Baldwin said, not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. So let's face it, we can change what we do if we change how we think. And we can change how we think if we change what we know. Black Lives Matter Charlotte is a space and place for us to gather together, where people who want to face the issue of race and racial inequity in the community can be in solidarity with people who experience the impact of race and racial inequity as a result of our identity. Racially, ethnically diverse audiences come together to get information, discuss the truth, to make decisions, and to act at the individual level, the community level, and the system level. It starts with a conversation. Conversation leads to understanding, and understanding can lead to change. In 2015, we knew the phrase Black Lives Matter Charlotte held both calm and chaos. We hoped that we could get into good trouble. We did. We have. If you believe it, we hope you will too.
Hi, my name is Anthony Calloway. I'm the principal of Walter G. Byers School. It's a K-8 school located in Charlotte, North Carolina. On behalf of the Charlotte Post, I want to thank you, first of all, for your generosity and just taking time to support a very worthy cause. Mr. Johnson asked me a question a couple months ago, how do we get back to normal? And that question tossed me back because when I thought about normal, I don't know if normal is where we want to go. Because before the pandemic, children of color in America were being undereducated, they were given poor resources, and their opportunities weren't as bright as their peers from more affluent areas. So when I think about what we're trying to accomplish, recovering from a pandemic and setting our children up for success, I'm excited to have partners that are willing to think outside the box, listen to the community, and make sure that we are doing and giving our best to our scholars. And it's because of this organization that we are able to offer an after-school program that meets on Wednesdays and also Saturdays to give our scholars the extra time that they need to close not just the achievement gap, but the gap of hope, the gap of poverty, and the gap that creates disenfranchisement in our communities. So I want to thank you for your donations. And if you haven't donated, I ask that you please consider, because the funds go to a great use, and that is pouring into our scholars. And when you pour into scholars, you change communities. And that's the only way we can make our country better.
Hello, I'm Tracy Batt-Mormon, High School Counseling Manager for Charlotte Mecklenburg Schools. To Mr. Gerald Johnson, Mr. Robert Johnson, the Charlotte Post Foundation board members, and to this community of partners and friends. On behalf of the students, parents, and educators who are a part of Charlotte Mecklenburg Schools, I would like to thank you for your support and generosity. The significance of your giving to the foundation is that these resources will assist high school seniors in bridging the gap between the increasing cost of college attendance and what a family might be able to contribute to this critical process. As you know, this year, we are finding ourselves in uncharted times. The life of a high school senior is different. Students have been attending school under remote conditions. Seniors are unable to visit colleges and dorms or converse with admission representatives in person. Due to layoffs and job losses, students are spending their spare time working more hours than ever before to assist their family with basic needs. Some are even considering choosing working over going to college due to the cost. Meanwhile, others are struggling mentally to understand how the culmination of their high school experience looks vastly different than what they imagined. No prom or a typical formal version of graduation ceremonies and celebrations. Through that all, there are students who received a glimmer of hope in the mail. They have been accepted to the college or university of their choice. Additionally, over the past few weeks, seniors have been receiving their financial aid packages. For some, they have it mostly covered. For others, the scramble begins to figure out how to make this glimmer of hope happen at all. In my career as a school counselor, I experienced calming students' rising angst when they find a gap between the tuition owed and the aid provided. This time period for some turns into a scramble to find grants, lingering scholarships, and sometimes summer employment to assist in paying for college by the due dates. The generosity of the foundation has freed students from one more burden of how they will pay for college. On behalf of the African American students you honor, I would like to extend my warmest gratitude for the generous gifts provided today, and again, to the foundation for giving our students at Charlotte Mecklenburg Schools an opportunity to excel and eventually give back to their own community. Thank you for being a part of the light, which helps to shine away when one thought there was none. We graciously appreciate your giving spirit and hope the legacy will continue on.
The buzzard took the monkey for a ride in the air. The monkey thought that everything was on the square. Now, the buzzard tried to throw the monkey off his back. But the monkey grabbed his neck and said, "Now, listen, Jack. Straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and stay right. Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top. Ain't no use in diving. What's the use in jiving? Straighten up and fly right. The buzzer told the monkey, you are choking me. Release that hold and I will set you free. The monkey looked that buzzard right dead in the eye. He said, yeah, your story's real touching, but it sounds just like a lie. Come on, straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and stay right. You better straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Bob, but don't you blow your top. Well, but it sounds just like a lie. Straighten up, fly right. Straighten up, stay right. You better straighten up and fly right. Come on, cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top. Fly right.
The Charlotte Post Foundation has recognized high academic achievers since 1975. Each year, a panel of judges independently scores top senior candidates in 4 categories: GPA, school activity, community activity, and an essay. And those scores are tabulated, and the 2 with the highest scores, top senior and top senior runner-up. They are awarded scholarships, and this year, the judges' tabulation actually yielded identical scores for 2 seniors that you're about to meet. Raven Funderburk of Olympic High School and Emory Brinson of South Mecklenburg High School. They are 2 amazing young ladies, and you'll be impressed by their talents and their aspirations for the future. Due to the pandemic, they actually received their scholarships and their trophies at a private top senior recognition ceremony. It was held back in May at the Charlotte Post Publishing Company offices. Our first top senior is Raven Funderburk. She has a weighted grade point average of 4.48. She ranked 9th out of the 622 students in her class. She's an ambassador for the Young Black Leadership Alliance, a member of the Key Club, the National Honor Society, and Student Council. She's also volunteered for Habitat for Humanity and Novant Health Presbyterian Medical Center. She recalls the many times staying up late and sacrificing so she could achieve her goals, and being named Top Senior of the Year made her time and effort well worth it. Considering how competitive the Top Senior program is, she says she feels truly honored.
I would definitely say that my passion for academics has started since elementary school. I actually went to a Montessori elementary school, so that really sparked my passion for learning because the whole Montessori concept is centered around self-driven learning, and so that's when I really developed my passion for learning and just pursuing things in the academic field. One of my greatest passions outside of academics is service. I really do have a heart for just helping others and serving others, and that's really reflected in a lot of the things that I do outside of school with the clubs that I'm in and just the volunteer activities that I'm involved in. So service is a big thing of what I'm passionate about.
She is an unstoppable force. She's always known what she's wanted for herself, regardless of what other people were doing or believe she should be doing. She's always been very confident in herself, and when she sets her mind to something, she is unwavering.
I would say what sets Raven apart is balance. Again, she typically does not jump out to be the first to say anything. She gathers information, she gets a understanding of multiple opinions and perspectives, gathers those in and makes a very balanced direction and offering for leadership.
I would definitely say the biggest misconception about my generation is that we're lazy. I think that a lot of us, it's overlooked that we do have a drive, whether it may be for different things, different passions. So a lot of us are passionate about different things, and I feel like it's sometimes viewed as we're lazy.
I think I've told her this before. If I could have cloned Raven, she is the student that you would want as your mold to make other students. And with that being said, she doesn't use that in a way that is condescending to other students. She's also very positive, and she's also willing to help students who are not at the level academically, socially, her maturity level. She's always willing to step in and help others.
I see great things in Raven's future. I believe she is 100% capable of accomplishing anything she wants to do. She is pursuing the path of dentistry, majoring in biology, and I believe that she will excel tremendously.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you are doing well and staying safe. Although we could not gather in person this year, I am glad you have joined us virtually. Over a year ago, I received an email from the Charlotte Post Foundation stating that I was selected as a 2020 Top Senior Award recipient. As I read those words, I was in complete shock and felt extremely honored. I can remember rushing to my parents shortly after to share this great news with them. To this day, I am still honored knowing that I was selected from hundreds of competitive students within my community. Receiving this award helped to affirm that the time and effort I invested into my high school career was well worth it. It also felt great being recognized as a high-achieving African American student in the community. Too often, the talent and success of African American men and women are overlooked in the world. So I commend the Charlotte Post Foundation for its work in highlighting the stories of ambitious Black students in the Charlotte community. I truly cannot thank the Post Foundation enough for seeing the driven person that I am and choosing to honor me. This award has been such a blessing. Thank you.
And now, congratulations to the young lady with whom Raven shares this honor this year, top senior Emory Brinson. Emory is a 2020 Gold Medal Portfolio recipient for her nationally recognized written work. She is currently at Brown University studying international and public affairs, literary arts, and creative writing. She has several projects lined up, and she's very excited to keep writing and creating well into the future.
When I heard that I was going to get this honor, I was honored. I really was. I was so excited. It felt like someone was saying, you know, we heard what you were talking about, we saw what you did, and we support you. And it really felt like validation. So I was really, really excited. I was so grateful, and I'm really happy. I'm really glad. As I got through middle school and through high school, I always wanted to learn more about whatever we were doing. I wanted to challenge myself, so I was taking harder math classes, harder science classes, harder English classes, just so that I could keep pushing myself to be the best that I could be, both in school and outside of school. So academically, I would say it's two things. My love of writing is always encouraging me to be a better writer and also to help others be a better writer. I love sitting down with people and helping them kind of create better stories or to kind of tell their own story through essays better, and I love to be able to tell my own story, so I love writing. And then the other thing is I'm really passionate about social justice, specifically looking into the mass incarceration in the United States, our prison system. I've always been really interested in that.
Mediocrity is not in her vocabulary. In terms of her life outside of school, she's a leader, she's kind, she's empathetic, but what's particularly special about her is Emory is always for the underdog. Anybody who is marginalized or sidelined, that's who she focuses on, and that is one of my favorite things about her, is how she tries to make other people feel.
I think the biggest misconception about Generation Z is that we're just plugged into our phones and we're just super vapid and, you know, focused on social media, when I really think we're using our technology to make the world a better place. I think especially now you're seeing in the wake of all of the Black Lives Matter protests, people are really using social media to educate themselves, to educate others, to get engaged, to get involved in calling their senators and their congressmen and talking to their friends about the issues that we see in our world.
I have been fortunate enough to know Emory since she was a young girl, and so I have watched her grow as an individual who is committed to service, who's committed to her academic endeavors. She's a standout because she is, I can't say enough about her. She is a fabulous young lady. Her personality sparkles, and she shines both inside and out.
After Brown, I'm thinking about law school and really looking into ways that I can help fix our incarceration system. That's something that's really important to me. I'm really passionate about it, and I really see myself in the future working in public policy or in DC, looking for ways that we can implement policies that will help our incarceration system be more about rehabilitation rather than punishment.
Hi everyone, I'm coming to you today from snowy Providence, Rhode Island, where I'm a freshman at Brown University. Today I want to say thank you to my family, to my friends, and all of my teachers at South Mecklenburg High School that really supported me and encouraged me along the way. And then of course I want to give the biggest thank you to the Charlotte Post for giving me this incredible opportunity and allowing me to attend my dream school, to study things that I'm incredibly passionate about so that one day I can give back to the community just like the Post does every single day. Thank you so much.
We have a very special Top Senior Award now, first launched 3 years ago with the Charlotte Post Foundation, partnering with Ashley Mahoney, Charlotte Post staff writer and multimedia specialist, who created this scholarship. In fact, in honor of her mother, who passed away in August of 2017. Please receive now this video of this year's recipient, UNC Charlotte graduate Malik Norman.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you for supporting my vision. You just added more fuel to the fire. So you're creating a monster. This is good to hear because like I was trying to figure out my books, how to buy my books. And I was like, I prayed, I was like, God help me out, figure out a way to pay for these books. And I'm just sitting on trying to figure out these grants to figure out. And this is gonna help with a lot of things. Wow, I thank you. This is encouraging to my path. If I continue on, everything will align itself, and I'll do good work, not just for myself, but for my community. And that's what I want to do. Senior year it's looking very promising. I'm excited for things to come. I have this commission with the UNC Charlotte Art and Architecture program that we're doing. So I'm looking forward to building a relationship with the curator and figure out what it means to be a business owner, an entrepreneur in the arts. And I'm really focusing on establishing my practice. It's going to be good. It's going to be a challenge. I'm looking forward to the challenge.
Malik, congratulations on being the recipient of the Mary Mahoney Scholarship and of the 3rd annual Mary Mahoney Scholarship. We're proud of you. I look forward to seeing your photography and hope to meet you soon.
After learning about all of these amazing young people who are our future leaders being honored by the foundation, I'd like to remind you to continue to give so that the Charlotte Post Foundation can continue to provide all of these deserving students with scholarships. Continue watching the screen tonight for ways that you can donate. Our next award goes to the Educator of the Year. Please welcome Mrs. LaTarja Henry, Chief of Staff of Charlotte Mecklenburg Schools, to give remarks about Dr. Curtis Carroll.
Hello, my name is LaTarja Henry, and it is my absolute privilege to introduce you to one of the most influential educators in Charlotte. Dr. Curtis Carroll is one of a kind. Everyone who knows him knows that he can fill up a room. He is an authentic, passionate leader who is funny, caring, and committed to making sure that all children get the best education possible. Who knew that CMS would be forever changed in 1993 when he joined the district as an assistant principal at McClintock Middle School? His career took off, and he has led teams and teams of people and large-scale initiatives that CMS is known for across the country. Perhaps the most influential contribution he has made to CMS is his development and coaching of leaders who have flourished and gone on to lead in CMS and outside of CMS. That's how we met. His leadership has influenced my career journey, and I am one of many, many professionals who, were it not for him, we would not be where we are today. So let me invite you to get a glimpse of the Curtis Carroll magic.
I wanted everyone to be comfortable with discomfort. That is my motto. I want people, the students, the staff, the administration, to be comfortable with discomfort, because that's the only way you're going to get kids to learn more. I'm from Flint, Michigan, but ironically enough, my parents are from Enfield, North Carolina, and they migrated like many people to Michigan to have opportunities to work in the automobile plant. So all of my brothers and sisters who are older than me were born in Enfield, North Carolina. I was the only of the 5 that was raised in Flint, Michigan. My wife ran track for the University of Kentucky, and we had made a decision that we were going to live in the South. So I read this news article in the Chicago Tribune about Charlotte being the most diverse school system in the country. And back then, because of race-based pupil assignment, it was the most integrated school system in the country. So I came here, I was assistant principal at McClintock, ended up being the principal at McClintock, spent some time as assistant principal prior to that at West Mecklenburg, and I felt that Charlotte was the best place on this planet. I love it. So when I first went to Harding, I said, every student is going to take advance. And some kids would look at me, I never took advance course. And I said, well, you're advanced, you just never knew it. And I would push the kids, so if there ever been some criticism of me, is pushing the kids too hard, because I know our kids are unbelievable, and when given the opportunity, they would do things we would never imagine. But when you push a kid, the first thing you got to do is provide a safety net for them. When I say providing a safety net, you have to have the right educators in front of those students. And so we had extremely diverse teaching staff, and our kids had never had an African-American teacher that would teach them higher level courses. And I think our students needed to see Black teachers, Hispanic teachers, teaching them courses other than remediation. I don't think you benefit from remediating a kid. That's a waste of time.
But being in the school with Curtis, and I've done that a lot, and watching him work with those students, and hearing the stories about students that are getting academic scholarships, going to places like WIM and Mary out of Vance, going to places like Yale and Harvard out of Vance. Those are the stories that would not be possible had it not been for Curtis Carroll.
Well, one thing I always tease Dr. Carroll about is his Curtis Carrollisms. And so he would remind me through mentorship, you always have to be around people who will keep your feet out of a bucket of snakes. Or he would say, is there anything that I've said to you that isn't true, when he was about to give you a lesson to help you reflect on your leadership.
I have always known him to keep students at the center of all decisions that he makes. And I have a great deal of respect for him, not only for that, but for him as a person. He cares about students, and you know that old adage, they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And Dr. Carroll certainly exemplifies that.
So in 2007, she was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. The doctor said that in my likelihood she could live 2 years, she could live 5 years. But we had a 3rd grader, my son Brett, and my daughter was in the 9th grade at Harding. I said, that ain't working for us. We gotta have to change the way we live. So we had a motto: eat right, exercise, be spiritually sound and emotionally stable. And we stuck to that. And for 12 years, we kicked cancer's butt. Basically, what I've been doing since my wife passed, I ride my bike or I walk every day. I usually ride about 15 to 20 miles. Now, I'm not riding to be super cyclist. I ride to keep my mind and my body in shape, but I'm not trying to get buffed up or anything like that. I'm just trying to release some of the anxiety and still making this transition without my wife. It is with great honor that I stand in front of you and receive the Charlotte Post Foundation Educator of the Year Award. As a public school educator for 36 years, 28 years in the Charlotte Mecklenburg schools, I feel a deep sense of gratitude knowing that I am being recognized by the foundation. I hope that others feel that my accomplishments over the years is consistent with your foundation's mission and core values. Core value number 1 in particular, we believe African American youth should receive equal access to competent educational resources, enhancing their opportunity for a quality education and realize their potential. This core value resonates with me on a daily basis. Our scholars don't need for people to feel sorry for them. What they need is to be given the opportunities. I'm proud to say that so many students, parents, teachers, and community members gave me the opportunity to lead them, sometimes follow them, but most importantly, or most frequently, walk beside them to ensure that all of our students be treated as if they're gifted. You know, quite frankly, we know every child is gifted, and it's our responsibility to give them the opportunity to demonstrate their gift. Thank you so much for the Charlotte Post Foundation for giving me this prestigious award. Thank you.
And now, to help us recognize our Charlotte Post Foundation 2020 Luminary, Bishop Claude Alexander, please welcome his wife, Dr. Kimberly Alexander.
It is my pleasure to introduce you to Bishop Claude Richard Alexander Jr. Can you believe that this May he will celebrate 40 years in ministry? If you were to read his bio, you'd read about his degrees from Morehouse College, Pittsburgh Theological Seminary, and his doctorate from Gordon Conwell Theological Seminary. You would see he has faithfully served as the senior pastor of the Park Church here in Charlotte, North Carolina, for the past 30 years. You'd read about his boards, his community service, both in the community and abroad. Anyone could and would tell you those things about him. But I'm here today to celebrate Bishop Claude Richard Alexander Jr. as the Charlotte Post Foundation Luminary. My perspective is a little different. It comes from sharing 27 years of marriage. I see him demonstrate integrity when nobody is watching. The Luminary Award goes to individuals who have tirelessly given of themselves to help obtain equal access, equity, and inclusion. Bishop Alexander has done just that and more. A luminary is a source of light, a person of influence. Bishop Alexander doesn't just bring light, he embodies it. His carefully thought out words of wisdom illuminate congregations, our community, boardrooms, and yes, our home. The call of God on his life is not contained in the walls of a church building. He sees what many cannot. His visionary leadership extends beyond the boundaries of the church into the community and other nations. His desire for social justice, equity, and inclusion are woven into the fabric of his being. He is a bridge builder, a conduit for peace, kind and courageous, brilliant and bold. And when he speaks, people listen. A man of character is not measured by his accomplishments, but by the impact he has on the lives of others. He's a dedicated dad, a loving husband, and a faithful friend. I'm inspired by his faith, encouraged by his example, challenged by his astute awareness of our times, comforted by his love, and grateful for his guidance. He is not just the light in our home and in my heart. He is our luminary every year. Bishop Claude Richard Alexander Jr.
My biological parents divorced when I was 2, and my mom remarried this doctor in Jackson, Mississippi, and we moved there when I was 5 years old, Dr. Robert Smith. He was a part of the medical wing of the civil rights movement, and so my mom being a psychiatrist, he being a general practitioner, medicine was the thing, and medicine to serve people. And at the age of about 13 or 14, I started feeling the call of the Lord upon my life. Now I'm working in the offices, you know, filling out Medicaid forms and shooting chest x-rays. But the Lord is dealing with me in terms of a calling upon my life. And so it's at the age of 17, I accepted that call 1 week after graduating from high school. And in 1990, when University Park became vacant, my name was given to the pulpit committee. And so I entered the process. An unlikely candidate. I met none of their qualifications. They wanted somebody 35, I was 26. They wanted somebody married, I was single. They wanted somebody with 5 years of pastoral experience, I only had 3. And yet, through their process, they believed God calling them to extend the call to me. But there was nothing about them or me that could predict this. So much of it has just been God. And their initial willingness to take a chance on me when I met none of their qualifications was an indication of their willingness to take other risks by faith and then see what God would do. And this is the result.
For your glory, for your honor, in the name of Jesus we pray. Amen. Come on.
Ultimately, what it comes down to is saying, am I being true to what I know God is calling me to do, to be, to say? Because ultimately, He's the one, right, that I'm really trying to please. And if I'm pleasing Him, it will resonate with those whom He desires.
Ladies for the road, can y'all wave at me? Because it's real quiet in here. They're acting like they've never had a victory from the jaws of defeat. But there's a real witness who knows that there was a time when the devil thought he had you. And God said, not so.
You have to be willing to temper yourself so that people are able to hear what God wants to say as God wants to hear them to hear, rather than how you want them to hear. And sometimes that means tempering, And then other times that means God giving you the courage to boldly state what you might be afraid of boldly stating, right? Yeah.
Because he lives, I can face tomorrow.
He's just grounded, and the world, my world, is a better place because he's in it. And I have to believe that's true for so many. And the fact that he's become a force within the world and still finds space and place to be very relevant and proximate to the people here in Charlotte and the people in his flock is, to me, an exquisite use of gifts that he's been given, generously given, but he doesn't hold them to himself.
I've had the gift of being able to travel really all over the world with him. He and I have gone to many different countries, all around the United States, serving together. We often have spoken together on areas that we both work on in the area of bringing the church together to serve the city. And so through that, I've just gotten kind of I guess an inside look at this man and just the leader he is.
Well, one, he's my pastor, he's my cousin, and more importantly, he's my friend. So when I think about, I'm obviously biased, when I think about him in the context of a luminary. I also think about him in other three things. He's got a brilliant mind, and he's a brilliant visionary. I think about the caring person he is, and even more importantly, the transformational thinking that he applies to our church, to our city, and to the world.
So much of life is how well you steward the investments that God has made. The investments of my wife, right, Kim, the investment of my daughters. So much of life is about recognizing the accountability that you have to the investments that God has made and how well you steward it. So that's the first thing. I think the second thing is that so much of my life has been responding to what I only know now and trusting God with what God has next. And if I'm faithful to what I know now, what I hear now, what I sense and see now, what God has next is so much more than I would imagine. And so it's stewarding the relationships, being present to the now. And I guess the third thing would be enjoying the ride. Yeah, enjoying the ride. Let me offer congratulations to my fellow honorees. It is a joy to be named with you. I am extremely grateful, humbled, and honored by this award from the Charlotte Post Foundation. It is said that if you see a turtle on a fence post, it did not get there by itself. It was placed there. And such is the case with this recognition. So much of this goes to so many. First would be the Lord in whom I live, move, and have my being, and whose purpose has provided and prompted every good thing that I've ever attempted or achieved. It goes to my parents who raised me in a home where service to God and to others was intricately weaved and inextricably bound. It goes to uncles who recognized and helped me understand the stirrings of God's call and claim upon my life. To a high school English teacher who saw a shy ninth grader and called him great. It goes to Morning Star Church who called me at the age of 22, and to the members of the Park Church who risked calling a 26-year-old single preacher and gave him the space and support to grow, lead, risk, miss the target, aim better, and serve. It goes to the organizations who've afforded me the opportunity to serve and share within this community. And those elders, past and living, whose list of names is much too long for me to give proper recognition, but whose voice and example continue to challenge me. Last and best, I thank my wife, Kim, and daughters Cameron and Carson, whose sacrificial love, whose support, whose flexibility, whose humor serves as the wind beneath my wings. This honor challenges me to do more. That as others help this turtle get on the fence post, so must I be able to help others do the same. And so thank you for this honor, and I hope that the rest of my life will live up to the challenge. Thank you.
Please join us again in congratulating the Charlotte Post Best of 2020 honorees. Don't forget to donate. You can donate on your phone, by check, or online at tcbfdn.org/FDN-donate.
We hope you enjoyed this last song entitled Way Back Home.
The lyrics to this song were written as I thought about my little peninsula hometown in Tidewater, Virginia, where everybody knows everybody, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And in my neighborhood, we love each other anyway. So I always sing this one with all my folks in my heart. That knew how to care for me way back home, way back home. Sometimes I gotta go way back home. There were birds in the air, water all around, didn't have a care, way back home. Y'all sing about home, say about home. gonna see me one day. I'll remember home, way back home.
And now, please welcome again Mr. Gerald Johnson.